investigative question, we'll be looking at just how marriage dictates one's son or daughter's success.
For our first question, we were gonna ask, how would you describe your experience as a single parent?
Describe my experience. I think we've done pretty well so far. Sometimes it's a struggle, but answer your question.
Elaborate, like when you say sometimes it's struggle. We need to
Sometimes it's a struggle because having a house, big yard. There's just a lot of work to do a lot of the time, and we're busy. Sports and school and work, and it's hard to keep up with things sometimes. But so that's part of the struggle. Financially, sometimes it's part of the struggle, a little bit of a struggle, but we have done pretty well. We stayed here the whole time and somewhat have the house in order. Working on it every day, but.
Yeah. Okay, for our second question, what kind of influences did you have on your son's future? Such as, like, athletically, like what sports he would go up for, if you had any, like, say into that or influence or that, or, like, colleges for the future and stuff like that?
I don't try to influence at all with my kids, but, I definitely support. He plays baseball, he really does. His sister does things too, and looking at colleges, and I try to let them make their own choices and not really influence them, but at the same time, it's kind of a fine line. You wanna kind of push them to be the best they can be, for lack of a better phrase, but you want them to have the best opportunities and the best choices and all the things that you didn't have when you were growing up. You want to give that to them, and I don't influence, but it's kind of hard to explain. Like his sister was choosing colleges, and there's pros and cons to each place that you look at, and you gotta just try to guide them to the right choices. Sports, Ryan loves to play sports. He likes basketball, he likes baseball, he does a lot. Likes to play, likes us there to support him, likes us there to cheer him on, and I think it helps him just having me and his dad there all the time to support him and cheer him on, so it makes a difference.
Okay.
And even though his dad and I are divorced, we always go to his games. We don't not get along or anything.
So even though you guys are still apart, you're still supporting your son?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
That's always been the most important thing for both of us, I think. Is make sure that they know that we're both there for them.
Okay. And for a third thing, we would ask, do you think that your divorce would affect your son's future in the long run?
It might, to be completely honest, because financially it is tough. It's tough on both sides. You had one household you were supporting, now there's two. So, yeah, financially it could be a little bit more difficult to give him everything that he might need. Colleges are not cheap.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. That's a hard thing to figure out how to pay for and how to. So it might affect him a little bit, but I do everything I can to find what we need to get them what they need. So if you have to get another job, then get another job. So do what you got to do.
So as a single parent, what would you say was the hardest adaptation you had with Ryan after the divorce?
Hardest adaptation with Ryan specifically?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, being a girl and he's a boy, there's just things that boys need from their dads and that I can't
Only things that
provide to him. I'm not provide, but it's just different. The relationship is different between a dad and a son and a mom and a son. So, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
It was like, what was the hardest adaptation after the
Hardest
Vice for Ryan?
Ryan's a pretty easygoing kid, and I'm pretty easygoing too, so it wasn't. I don't know how to answer that question. There wasn't really anything that was hard,
Like,
but I would say
such as like a change, that's something like that he had to like change because like he no longer has that resource, such as like another parent to like go to.
yeah, I guess, I can't teach him how to use tools, and I can't teach him how to fix a car and maybe things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much his dad knows how to do that either, but me particularly, I can't teach him that kind of thing. I can't teach him how to fix things around the house and something his dad. And even though I wouldn't say I'm athletic at all, but I can play sports, but he doesn't want me going out there and shooting hoops with him.
Okay, since we're in that topic, we might as well ask Ryan, like, what do you think was the hardest change you had to make after?
Just the overall difference of not like going home to two parents and not having like them both in the same household, and just like it affects your schedule too, definitely, because we have certain days where we're over my dad's house and certain days we're over here, and there's different things we have to do, like sports, and it just affects your schedule. It takes more time.
Take more time to figure out how to get where and when and keep everything straight. Yeah, I guess that can be tough sometimes. But.
And for last question, have to be long. Okay, so when you were married, was your son's like ability to do well academically as well as athletically more of a priority? And what were some concerns you had becoming a single parent?
Academically, I don't think he's done any worse. Actually, he's done quite well academically. Athletically too. I mean, he's good at sports. The sports that he plays, he does 110%. He gives his all in everything he does. And as far as school, he's just a good student. He's an AB student, and I really have no complaints with him as far as that. Say the question again, please.
For the second part was like, what are some concerns you had becoming a single parent?
Concerns I had, I was concerned that his grades would, take a
his plummet.
nosedive. Yeah, that the whole change, and like he said, it's very different. They go to two different houses now. They don't have one home where everybody is. They're split up. They're trying to split between the two of us. It's difficult. On holidays, I think that was probably the most difficult for both of them, was the traditions that you create with holidays. That all changes, and it makes things weird and strange and different, and sometimes they get sad over it, and we all do. There's times where I don't see them on a holiday, their birthday or something like that, because it's not my day or whatever. But I was concerned definitely when this all started that the both of them might have issues that would affect them academically, and their grades would drop. But that hasn't been the case. They've really both done very well in school. And, luckily, that fear never really amounted to anything yet, anyway.
Okay, I'm just gonna get this one right off the top of my head. So Ryan, like, has your ability to talk to your parents, ask for any kind of issues or problems, are you more so reluctant than you were before? Like now, if you were having a problem, would you have more reason to hesitate to ask because there's only one parent available rather than having two?
I mean, I don't think so, because if I wanted to ask, specifically my mom or my dad something, even if I'm not with them, I can just like call them and ask them if I wanted to. I mean, it does make a difference of like talking on the phone and like actually being there, but I don't think it really makes that much of a difference.
Maybe with like a really big issue, but even then, you know, college was a huge thing. My sister just picked a college, so, but there's communication on things that we need to discuss together. We all get together and discuss it. It's not like, I don't think he ever feels, or his sister ever feels like if there was something that we all needed to be at together, that we couldn't do that because we can. Me and his dad have made a point to do what we have to do to get them what they need, so. Would you say that?
Yeah.
You don't feel like, you know, if something huge were to come up that we all couldn't do it together. We could if we needed to.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?